What is happening, everybody? Destin Gary here, and today I wanted to tell you all about a new chip being developed for Xbox, what that means, and go over a few other news stories. Let's dive right in. Hello again, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Just a heads up, news has been really slow lately, so I haven't made a video for a few days. So we have a few stories that we can collect and talk about. Starting with the fact that Microsoft is reportedly working on an improved Xbox Series X chip. Now, don't get too excited about this story because it probably doesn't mean a new console at this point. It likely just means that they are working on a chip that's going to take less power, expel less heat, and probably make your fans run a little bit quieter. But here's what Brad Sams had to say about the rumor. He said, "I believe this is true. I know that Microsoft is working on revisions of the chip." He said, "Now, are we going to see performance improvements? Are we going to see anything else? I do not believe so, but Microsoft is always working on making cooler, more efficient chips because that lowers the cost of production." Now, I don't necessarily think that this new chip has been created just yet. I have to imagine that this is something they're working on. And also, the rumor is that Microsoft has paid for chip priority, and people are saying that they're able to find Xbox Series X and S units on shelves lately. With even some of the numbers in the UK saying that Xbox outsold everybody else. So that seems to be good news for them. And if they're able to continue improving their ability to make chips, that would be good news for the rest of the consumer base who are still looking for consoles. What else did I put in my notes here, though? Likely not a new SKU, but we actually know that PlayStation is working on a new console, or working on something anyway, based on some leaks I've done a video about. I have to wonder if Xbox is doing the same at this point. If Xbox was working on a new console, basically I would just want more storage. I'm not even sure that I would want the design to change all that much, but adding more internal storage would be great. I do find myself utilizing the expansion slot for the add-on of new games. And, you know, I just thought of this, but I wonder if the Series S would need a redesign, and I really don't think it doesn't. I think the Series S is proving more and more that there are a lot of people out there who are fixated on things like ray tracing and fancy tech 4K textures and everything like that. And the Series S proves that most people do not care about stuff like that. They do to a point, but I don't think every game needs that. And the Series S people who are buying it, like they're not worried about native 4K. They just want to play the new games, and that is a great entry-level console to do that. So I think that does a lot to boost their sales. The Xbox One X, comparing timelines for new Xbox consoles, was actually 5 years after the Xbox One had launched. So we're not quite there yet with the Series X. So if they are going to do a redesign, that is going to be a little bit further down the line. Separately, in some good news, sort of part of the Activision Blizzard stuff, which is going to be part of Microsoft, Activision has converted 1,100 QA testers to full-time, meaning those QA testers are now going to make $20 an hour and get all the other nice benefits about being considered full-time employees. I do think that this is going to be part of the merger, sort of letting people know, hey, we're going to take care of our employees. I don't know how much Microsoft is able to influence that at this point, but all signs point to Activision wanting it to go through. So this is great news because it means the union put enough pressure on Activision to actually make some positive changes. On the negative side, this actually didn't affect the Raven QA people, because we'll get to that in a second. Here's what Schreier said about the situation. New, Activision Blizzard just told staff that all of its 1,100 QA testers will be converted from contract to full-time, bumped up to at least $20 an hour, a big win for QA in the wake of several worker revolts and a burgeoning union effort. Story soon. Slight clarification on my wording here. 1,100 is the number of temp and contract QA testers that are being converted to full-time. According to Activision Blizzard, there are other testers at the company who are already full-time staff. And here's the catch. Activision will not give raises to Raven QA testers who are unionizing due to our legal obligations under the National Labor Relations Act, the company said in an email seen by Bloomberg News. Activision PR sent out a blast to journalists this morning with the big news featuring emails from studio heads, but did not mention that unionizing Raven QA testers are not part of it, which Bloomberg News leaked shortly afterwards. So, unfortunately, the Raven issue is sort of still up in the air there, but I am glad that positive things are happening at Activision Blizzard. I don't know if the Xbox deal has much to do with that, but it is good to see that. I think they hired a new employee recently. I saw that making the rounds to have, I believe it was diversity and inclusion. I'm not sure if that was the role, but it's good to see that they are making efforts to improve the lives of the employees at the company. That is a good thing no matter why it happens, and I'm happy to see it start going through. If you were wondering, though, about like what could be bad news for Xbox in terms of any acquisition, a lot of people have been focusing on the Activision Blizzard stuff and the unionization and all that. But one of the actual challenges for the company would actually be if they started looking at their cloud business, because I do think that Microsoft has a strong hold on the cloud business, and this would actually be something that would raise some eyebrows if people actually started taking a closer look at it. And it looks like the EU is going to. Basically, some people pointed out that it does seem like there are issues with how much of a stranglehold Xbox has on the cloud market. The questionnaire said the commission has information that Microsoft may be using its potentially dominant position in certain software markets to foreclose competition regarding certain cloud computing services. They're talking, of course, about Azure, which a lot of people have to use, even PlayStation, to get their services to function in the way that they want to. In a statement, Microsoft said, we're continuously evaluating how we can best support partners and make Microsoft software available to customers across all environments, including those of other cloud providers. Again, pointing out the fact that Microsoft with Azure, it just really doesn't give people a lot of other options because it is that good. And it was a big focus on their GDC presentation last week, which GameIndustry.biz says at last month's GDC 2022, the company announced two new initiatives: Idea at Azure, a suite of free cloud development tools for indie studios, and the Azure Gaming Development Virtual Machine, which gives access to a games development workspace without the need for a dedicated service. Now, what pops in my head is that Sony just invested like $1 billion in Unreal Engine 5, so their strategy is likely investing in the tool sets that developers will use to create various video games. Microsoft is just like, well, we're going to build the infrastructure for people to utilize new types of tools to build their games. Both are investing in the ability for people to create things, and that makes me happy. But Microsoft just has so much money when it comes to the cloud space. I do think this is going to cause them a little bit of a challenge with regulators in the near future. Several major game firms use Microsoft's Azure cloud service, including Sega and Sony. Reuters notes that Microsoft has faced fines totaling about $1.6 million from the EU Commission in the past for various breaches of antitrust rules, as well as not complying with an order to stop its anti-competitive practices. So I have to wonder if this is the newest in a long line of issues that are going to crop up. People point to the Activision Blizzard merger as a big challenge for them, and they just point to the wrong stuff all the time. This cloud thing, I do think, could actually be tied to that quite easily, and some of the historical things that have happened over there. But we'll see if people actually start pointing to the right things or if the deal just goes through, which I do think it will. Time will tell. Hey, thank you so much for watching. That was 3 different news stories, and I rounded them all up in about 9 minutes. So thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. I try and post every day. It's been a little slow, so I've just been kind of waiting. But thank you so much. I do appreciate all of you. If you would like to become a member, memberships are turned on Thank you so much to all the members that support the channel. If you would like to do that, you can click that join button right down there. Ding! I hit it. All right. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you for the next one soon. Bye for now, everybody.